Hello everyone and welcome to the Sweeney Show, Business and Law podcast. I'm David Sweeney and joining me here today is Pat Fitz. Actually, Pat,
hello.
What is your surname? Pat Fitzgerald? Fitzpatrick?
Fitzgibbon, actually.
Fitzgibbon?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because you're kind of synonymous now in Cork for a long, long time in the music scene.
Yeah.
You're, a performer, artist, musician.
Bluffer.
We're all bluffers.
Yeah.
But Pat Fitz is a name now that's carried in Cork music industry.
Fingers crossed, we're just blasting with it for the past 20 years.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's 20 years now you've been at it?
20 years on the road, yeah.
And how did it first come about? Like, were you always interested in music? What was kind of the first time you picked up an instrument or?
First time I picked up an instrument, I broke it off someone's back. I went to Norman and they did guitar lessons up there, but it didn't work out or end well. So put it down for another year or two and took it back up. But the whole family are musical.
Okay, all right, okay, it's in the
avoid
blood.
it. Yeah. I can't do real work.
And so it wasn't a chore for you at the start? Like you weren't kicked
no.
off to music lesson, here's a piano at Wednesday, guitar on Friday kind
Yeah,
of thing?
it was never a chore. Music, it's not a way to make a living,
Yeah.
I can't do real work.
But it is real work, in that like you've transferred your passion into a business. It may not be 9 to 5, but like you work very hard, don't you?
Yeah, well, absolutely. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like as rock and roll as it is, I spent the morning out this morning putting 2 vans through the DOE, which failed. So there's all that stuff, and there's managing people.
Is that the scale that things have got now for Pat Fitz, that like you have 2 vans in the road for equipment and things like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of gear to be carried around on a lot of people, a lot of personnel to be carried around too, So
And so how do you then transfer over, or you delegate Pat Fitz, the entertainer, musician, creative, into Pat Fitz, the businessman?
Well, I find it very hard to delegate anyway. I'm a bit of a control freak, so I do a lot of it myself. But like that, when it's your passion, it's not work, You're sitting down and you're answering emails at 9 or 10 at night. You're self-employed, you have to.
You're constantly at it.
There's no 9 to 5, but it's brilliant,
And so just, you were kind of, I suppose when you broke onto the Cork scene first as a young man, still a young man, a younger man, you were obviously, did you start off in pubs, gigging, one-man thing?
Yeah. My uncle had a double booking New Year's Eve up in an old bar called the Way House in Barrack Street, where nobody wanted music. And they let me know about it. But 15 years of age, I started off with that. And the best thing I ever did was I was playing up around all the north side and did all those places. And
were they good environments to be playing in?
Good places to cut your teeth and get experience. I mean, there was 1 or 2 places there was drive-by shootings. Not while I was playing now, but there's
was the music that bad or no?
But you have to start somewhere, and
but that was probably a really good kind of apprenticeship, wasn't it?
Put yourself,
because you have nerves, all that kind of stuff,
and a lot of stuff to deal with as well. The best thing I ever did was take a stroll into Ernest Cantillon in Cleavers at the time. Didn't know him now, but I went around. I just started knocking on doors. Got a gig in town, and just things really took off after that. Once you're in the city centre.
Sure, and did you then, was that a student scene type you got into then?
Yeah, just everything. The Cleavers was student scene. And
for those who don't know, and Ernest is coming on the podcast, like Ernest is, I suppose he's one of the Cork establishment now as regards to the business scene, the publican scene. He's an entrepreneur, huge employer in the city, and he's now scaling out into like a gin operation. I think they're doing whiskey and all that stuff now. Never stops. But did you then, yourself and Ernest, seem to have formed a partnership down through the years, because he was in the trade and he needed talent to fill the pub?
Absolutely, yeah.
They all went hand in hand, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So when he expanded his premises and stuff, I went with him, and that was great. And
but there was no coincidence that Ernest's pubs were packed, still are, sorry Pat, like they were packed maybe 7 nights a week. That was because of his own marketing skill, but also he had like great musicians in there.
Well, he just put a face to the business, which is, yourself is key. So people come in and they love, when you come into a bar, you love when someone says, "Hey Pat, hey Dave, here's your pint." That's key, and that's what made it Yeah,
and then you had, was your first kind of national break, you were on the programme Eurostar.
Mm-hmm,
Do you have fond memories of that? Is that
I do, fond and non-fond, It's obviously it put us onto a different level, and grateful for that.
I think Mark might be able to find some footage of that. If you don't mind, we'll probably cut it in here just to show everybody you
thanks,
back
Mark,
in the day.
Yeah.
We're not performing or anything. We're not a boy band. I'm Ray Foley from the Ray Foley Show.
Oh, you're Ray.
We were talking to the radio the other day. Basically, on the show during the week, we did a big kind of talent search, and Brendan revealed for us that we've got a place at boot camp kind of set aside for the show. First and second place were these two lads, and they happen to be best mates. This is a pure fluke, by the way. It just worked out that way.
Okay, who won?
The winner was Neil.
Right.
But we got him on the air, had a chat with him, and he said he wouldn't be happy going forward because the only reason he entered was because he wanted his best mate Pat to go through.
Okay.
So you want to give the boot camp place to...
That's the one. Yeah.
And are you not interested?
I wouldn't say that. I just reckon that out of the two of us, definitely Pat would have a better
We
chance.
have more than one place at boot camp.
Exactly. Okay, so let's hear a little snippet of you.
No, we don't need to hear him.
I know I do.
Well, of course we do, idiot.
Ah, come on, time.
Quick, go on. Of course we hear him.
I know I'm messing. Suppose we better.
No pressure. You wanna stay with me in the morning. You only hold me when I sleep. I was only meant to tread the waters, but I've gotten way too deep. For every piece of me that wants you, another piece backs away. Because you give me something, makes me scared, alright. This could be nothing, I'm willing to give it a try. So please give me something, and someday I might know my heart.
That was great.
Really, absolutely loved it. You're very good. Well,
I actually have to fly away to Cork now.
Yeah? Well, you have to wait to see if you're going to boot camp.
I have to go. I'm playing a wedding.
Can you not ring the bride and groom and ask them to put it off till tomorrow?
No.
How, is this not important, Chief? Okay, we'll give you a ring.
Okay.
Give somebody your number outside.
Oh,
Will you ring him?
yeah, I'll ring you.
Call me.
I will do.
But back then, because I think the X Factor Eurostar brand has been diluted over the last couple of years. But back then was like
It was huge, yeah.
When
Making
was
your heart
this,
and all that kind of
2000s?
stuff. 2007, 2008.
Yeah, you know, like it was just taking off. So like nobody really knew where that was going to go at the time. The Simon Cowell influence from the UK
Yes, well,
came to Ireland.
but that's the thing. So when you go on, you think, especially as far as we got to the second last show. So we're heading to the final. We thought we'd get into the final, and then sure, I was very young, so you think, right, I'm gonna be
You made
famous,
it.
brilliant, happy
Yeah.
days, and then when you're
Because even at that, like the viewership is huge, wasn't
yeah.
it? Like it was like the
the
country
final was
took
over a million,
yeah.
So then when it's over, then you're just back to square one. No one's,
Back
No.
to like look for gigs back.
yeah, but not being too negative, no, but
Do you mean that like all the support and backing you got from the show through the show, the minute it was over? That was like, see you later.
it's a conveyor belt. That's all it is, like, and sure, whoever's won it would tell you the same, like, they wheel you back out for the next year's final and you sing your song.
That's
you know.
it.
But then you're on TV every Sunday
Mm.
to hundreds of thousands of people, which is brilliant. So the second time we went back, we knew we wouldn't win it, but we'd hope we get on TV, and we did. And then, so in the background then, we had the band. We started all the branding. So the minute we got kicked
So
off.
this is the Pat Fitz band, is it? Or
Yes,
is it
yeah.
different?
So we're back on The Voice, about 4 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
And the minute we came 7th or 8th, but the minute we got kicked off, yeah, we're off. But here's the Pat Fitz band. You can't buy
sure,
that, which is
yeah,
brilliant.
that
So you're a
was
bit more
national.
wise, like, yeah.
Yeah, and then so if Pat Fitz started out gigging as a solo performer
Yeah,
himself,
yeah.
starting out making a
Mhm.
crust, but like you have made isn't it very unusual to make a career out of that? Because like, is there a lot of factors to consider? Your social life, your family life. How do you balance all that being out? Because when you're making money, when everybody else is, the tradition
Yes.
is to be social.
Yeah, my fiance now would differ with me, but I've never had any other way. From 15, I've worked all the weekends. You miss most family events, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But
Is that because you're prepared to make that commitment, not for the financial aspect, but because you love it?
yeah, but I did 2 years of accounting in CIT, and I could never see myself being an accountant, like, you know, coming in. No, I love working, but I can't see myself coming into an office every day at 9, like, and working till 5, and you know, we have our own hours, work very hard. Yeah, I get up 9 or 10 and start working, then, you know, you're working till 10 that night, but at your own pace, and you're doing what you love, like.
Sure.
And making a career out of it. It's a lot easier now, but say 10 or 15 years ago, it was tough, but...
Is it a lot easier because you have that experience now? You're not as naive, you know when to say no, you know when to kind of organise gigs a bit
there's
better?
so many avenues now, Dave, for people to make money. It's brilliant. Like
in
if
the
you're
music industry?
Yes, yeah, if you're a musician, you don't have to be famous to be making money. There's radio ads, there's composition, there's the internet, you know, revenue
It's
streams
social
off
media,
that.
like,
Yeah,
like you can
unbelievable.
basically set up a Facebook account, press play on
And
your
reach
phone and put
thousands
yourself
of
out there.
people instantly. Like.
And you use that as well, don't you, as a tool?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and I've done a few radio ads, and there's just, like, if you're a musician and you're starting out and you're sitting down and you're going, how do I make money out of it? There's so many options, and you don't have to be famous to make money out of it.
I see your Instagram now and your stories, which are
Yes,
brilliant.
yeah,
Do you find that's helping you, or do they
Very
enjoy?
much so. Yeah, and it's great to interact with people, and it's great fun, and it's like that is a direct link to people who follow you.
And you get a good direct response. Do people contact you then across social media for bookings and stuff?
Yeah,
Is that like
massively.
that?
We would get a lot, nearly through the website 50%, and I say through social media 50%.
And is the Pat Fitz band now, is that entity, is it 4 or 5 members in it? Or?
There's 6 of us, well, 7, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So booking agent, engineer, roadie, and musician.
And is it now? Is it a wedding band? Or do you all like? Is it just that? Is the wedding band part of it just one part of the Pat Fitz band?
That's what I love. Like, so like that. Now you're a musician. You play in pubs. You're not. There's so much to being a musician. You could work by day. You could be a backing musician to someone, backing singer. So the wedding band is 90% weddings.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was because you saw a niche or an opportunity in the market, and you felt that you could.
Absolutely. Well, it was just it was a kind of a logical step. You know, weddings are great. I was doing a few weddings anyway, so we went full time at
I had
it.
a wedding you did there. Stephen and Mary Kilroy, remember that?
Yes,
Jacobs in the Mall there 2 or 3 years ago.
Sure.
It was a brilliant wedding.
Killer, yeah, sure. They just had a baby there recently. Yeah. But
Matthew, I think it is. Yeah.
with the wedding band, then I knew we could be a bit more. So what we do every year, it's brilliant, because January is wedding-wise is quiet. So a wedding band could be so much more. So we picked albums. So remember Clapton Unplugged?
Yeah.
We toured that for the last 2 years.
Wow.
The Everyman, the INEC.
So nice little.
Yeah, so a month or two of the year we're touring a lovely show like Clapton Unplugged or Springsteen Unplugged, and we're playing to lovely big
nice
audiences.
intimate following.
Yeah, and then you're something bigger then as well, you know. But then obviously the weddings are bread and butter, and we love them, and that's our job.
So it's that season thing, and then you kind of reinvent yourself or just
But
pivot a
it's
small
all
bit
just
for
making
winter.
work for yourself, you know. And
Wow.
that's what I would stress to all young musicians: go out and make some work. Don't wait for it to fall in your lap.
That seems to be then that you're like there's an ambition driving you to do that, and you're quite entrepreneurial to be able to adjust to that and see that opportunity.
Love it, and do you know what I think that's down to? That's surrounding yourself with positive, hardworking people. Like all my friends. No, I'm not saying if your friends aren't millionaires, kick them to the curb, but just positive people who are always working. And Ernest, Phil Ryan, I could name a lash of them. Jay Woodard, you know, who's been on your show or is coming on your show. Just all these people are driven, they're entrepreneurs, and they're positive, and they're hardworking. And
the thing about those people as well, and there's a whole batch of young Cork men and women who are coming through the city now. There's a real sense of creativity as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like no matter what you're doing, whether you're publican, whether you're working in social media, whatever it might be, like there's a huge opportunity now that people seem to be grasping.
Absolutely, because you've got the outlet like social media to show it off, which is brilliant. And these days you have to be creative to strive anyway, you know.
So how is your fiance? Is she accepted now that you're not around weekends or that, or like is there a balance there? Do you have like does her family life adjust to kind of suit?
Well, she had to adjust as well, yeah. So obviously I'm not.
So you're recently engaged. I think there's a wedding coming
up
in
in September. Yeah. So
we were having that discussion off air, like who actually is you going to get for your wedding band?
We have a fantastic band called the Jabronis.
Okay.
There's 10 of them, and they're amazing.
Oh, wow.
And we know Carrie and Mary Jo, and like I said, my family are crazy, her family are crazy. So once the wedding band are okay, they'll be fine. But these guys are amazing, and can't wait. So, but there was never any pressure. Pressure's for tire.
Yeah.
Tires.
Okay. Well, Pat, listen, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
to talk to us
love it.
today. It's been fantastic to hear your story.
Yeah.
Do you think you might ever go back on the kind of X Factor, if that opportunity come back? Is it like
No.
never say never, or do you think...
No, that's done. No, it's it takes up so much time as well and money.
Okay.
You need money to win these things. Like that's
In what way? To kind of like promote
voting,
yourself through it?
promoting and voting. Yeah.
All right.
So
So
but it like if you're going for it, go for it. Brilliant, and enjoy it for what it is. You know, it's
But
a
go with it,
platform for
be up-
you to show off.
Go in with eyes open. and it's a
Absolutely,
business
yeah,
opportunity.
Yeah. That's exactly what it
Okay,
is.
well, Pat, listen, it's been a pleasure to meet you and
Absolutely.
talk to you today. We 100% wish you all the best into the future, and we'll keep an eye out for you. Thank you.